You can remember that when we are doing this, Excel automatically created subtotal. Now let's go to group data now. Let's see how to work with group data. I want to group my data. Instead of using the subtotal now, how do I do that? I can select these three columns. This column, this is quarter one, quarter two to four. To do grouping, I will select my data manually. This group, I want to group them together. What do? Go to that tab and click on group. I want to group them by what? By row. Click OK. So you can see that I've grouped this together now. I can come back again here. Group another group again. I can come back here again and say group. Group by this. Sorry. They have okay. Sorry. Ctrl Z. Ctrl Z again. Okay. Now I select the first quarter and I click on data tab, group. I can place a space here. Let me remove group. On group first. On group again. Let me put space in between them. It has added the whatever to it. So from here, I've let me put space in between them on my wall. Insert space now. Now manually I can group them by myself. I come here. That is when I don't want to use, when maybe the group, there's no way we can group them using subtotal. Perhaps they may have different names, just like in this case. This one may not be there. We may not have all this one, but me, I know that the first 3 months are what? They are first quarters. I can come here and say, okay, data tab, and I click on group. Then I can select the other one again. Data tab. I can select group again. So they are different group now. Remember, you can see now we now have 1 and 2. They are grouped together. But there's nothing here to show that they are grouped. That's the reason why you have to do that. You have created your subtotal with figure or formula. This is manually created, not with a subtotal function here. You already have your this thing. Now let's select the column now. And they have data tab. Click on what? Group. If you remove this now, you're going to have what? Subtotal, employee cost. Now I have another group again, office cost. I can come here again, select this, data tab. You can see that this group now, they are not part of, they are not to be grouped like where we group subtotal. They have different name, but they belong to the same what? Family. Office cost. You can see that we are able to summarize, we are still able to summarize them, even though we don't have web marketing cost, the same way we have it here on the first row, or first column rather, but manually, with our data being grouped already, we are able to do what? To group the data. And when somebody wants to read this, instead of reading through all the entire big list, you can see everything here. And the last one is trading. Setup. So this one that I have here, I can manually remove it. Sorry, let me scroll down. the 1, 2, 3, that X that you have there, I can manually do this. This, I want to see the total. I can use this, and I can use this, all. So you can see the way we're able to group our data using what? The group function and the subtotal function. The auto outline works. Sometimes you can also use auto outline, but let me see if you can work for this data. Let me ungroup everything here. Let me ungroup everything on this sheet. You can also group by row or by column. That is when you have, let's say we have the first half, insert, and you have the total here. So you can say, okay, from this place to this place, we have, okay, we match some cells together. Okay, let me work with the ones that are not matched. Then we have data tab, and then we have group. You can also group by what? By column. You can still have the same thing here. We can hide by column, we can group by column, and we can group by row. You can see the column grouping here. The auto outline, that is when Excel is able to identify and detect it by itself. So we've removed all this. So let me select this and see if Excel will be able to identify that by itself. So we click on data tab and click on group. We have auto outline, but you cannot create outline for this. So there are times when some data support that, and we're able to use auto outline instead of the manual method of splitting them. Just like the subtotal, Excel can also use of auto outline to group your data once. We have 30 minutes to go. Let's talk about next topic, which is data validation. Data validation. After validation now, I will introduce some simple formulas for people who are very new. You can see that all we have been doing so far, I have tried to escape use of formula. I try to avoid using formula. Just by merely interacting with your Excel, there are a lot of things you can do with your Excel without doing formula, that you'll be able to slice your data, arrange your data, group your data in so many ways. Now, let's talk about validation. At the beginning of the class, I talk about data consistency. One of the way by which, oh, sorry, we have a named range rather, before we go to validation. Let's talk about named range first. Named range. Named range is situation whereby you create a name for your cell. Remember at the beginning, I introduced you to name box. And I said, this cell, when I click on this name of the cell is what? C39. The cell name is what? C39. When I click on this place, the name is what? I33, right? That is where we started from. But sometimes you may decide to change the name. You don't want to see, I want to give it my own name, a special name that I will use to call that cell. Now I'm going to click on cell I39 at 33. Then I come to my name box here and I change the name to Akim. I just type Akim inside the cell box and I hit enter. Can you see now that when I click on this cell, instead of I33, Akim is now showing. Can you try that, everyone? Click on the cell and change the name. No, no, see what I'm not there. Please. So that is it. And the advantage of naming a range or naming a cell is that when you are working and you want to call that cell, you don't need to locate it and do voila. Just call the name and it will respond. Let me type equals to Akim now. Equals to Akim. Can you see? It's now registered in Excel. When I click on it, it's telling me where Akim is. When you click on the name, show you where it is. Let me quickly put something inside this Akim cell. 120. I can also say equals to Akim times 5. I have Akim times 5. Hit enter. Can you see now? I don't need to look for that cell equals to I33 or whatever. I just call the name and it responds immediately. So the same way, and another advantage of using this is that you can call it up from any sheet. Let me go to this sheet where we have text to column, and I want to work on something. I have I say equals to Akim. Can you see here? Instead of me to link from here from our traditional way to sheet, we go like this, and we're going to be looking for this up and down. But instead of hovering around different sheets, I just click on equals to and I call the name times 20. That is it. That is how to use named range. Let's look at this example now. This time I've used a cell, but let's now use a range. I will click on this from this to this place. I select from top to bottom. A minute, please. I selected this range. I can also, okay, come to this cell and give it a name. I'm going to give it, what's the name I'm going to give this? Quarter 1, QTR1. When you are naming cell, you don't put space in between your name. You can either use the name as one word or you put underscore in between them. No space. Click and enter now. Oh, now you can see that it doesn't accept that because there is a QTR cell. There is a name of a cell behind that name. So that's why it took me to this cell. So let's go back to where we are and look for, let's use another name. I'm going to use another name now to name this range. I click on the cell and I say, okay, I want QTRS 1, quarter 1. We have named it now. Let me call the name from here equals to sum. I want to sum that. I want to know my sales in quarter 1. Instead of selecting the range, I can just say okay, equals to sum QTRS. That is it. Is it Q? T? No, what's happening? Was the name not created? Let me check the name again. The name is not created now, Abby. Go back, let me check something from formula tab here and see if the name is created. Q2 have, we don't have a name. The name is not there. Let me recreate the name. QTRS1. Now the name is there. QTRS1. Let's now let's create our total sales. You are working on another sheet. Instead of going back to that sheet where you had before, just click equals to sum, open the bracket, QTRS1. From here, I can get my total sales without going back to what? To the sheet where we are coming from. That is how to use name range. There are various ways by which you can do that. I've just done one by selecting the range and create a name from it. What happened if I have plenty names like this? I want to create name for each of these columns, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, up to December. What do? I can just select this range. I can select this range, go to my data tab, formula tab. You see here we have create from selection. I will click on this. Now it's okay. From the top of the row, pick a name from the top and click on OK. Now, Excel has created this name, Q1 cell, Q2 cell, Q3 cell, Q4 cell. I can say OK equals to sum Q3. Can you see now we have quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 4. From here, I can just sum my sales, quarter 1, equals to average of what? Q2 cell. Close the bracket, enter. So without having a need to go and be doing equals to average, open the bracket, select this, shift down. No. I already give it a name. I can use and reuse from anywhere. And that makes more sense than towing and froing, especially if you use a range very often. You make reference to it often and often. Just give it a name. From wherever you are, okay, equals to some what? Some Q1 sales plus somewhat from the bracket Q2 sales. Close the bracket, enter. So without going to that sheet, I have gotten my figure from this page. Is that clear? Any question on that? Named range. Okay. I said named range works when you decide to give a particular range a name. You can just select a range and change the name from here to U. The name is what? Is U. So when you talk about U anytime in Excel in this workbook, if you say U, was it not same? No, let me check again. Let me check the range again. Let me click a range. This is I40. I changed it to U. That is the name, YOU. In Excel, when I say equals to IOU in this workbook, it will point to that range. So anything I want to do with it, I can now do what I want to do. I want to I just want to get it equals to U. It will bring everything on that U to me. If I want to sum U, I can sum U. I can do anything. You can see equals to U now has brought in everything because U equals to 5 cell. Assuming I have 1 here, 2 here, 4 here, 5 here, and 7 here, equals to U has brought everything from that range to this place. That is the first thing we learned. The second thing I explained is that you can create name by using either the top row, the top cell, or you can use the front name also. Let's look at something here. I selected this row, all these columns, and I went to my formula tab. I click on create from selection, and I click on top row. Excel will pick the name. All this, it will change all this into name. It will name the cell with Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. That is what Excel will do for us. Now, we can also do the same thing by using what? By using the front row. Here. Let me select this now. I can give each row a name. Formula tab, click on from selection. Get a name from the first left column. John, Alice. Click on OK. We have the names. Now, let me say I want to sum Alice together. Equals to Alice. You can see Alice now. Everything here is got what? It's talking about Alice. Is it clearer now, Mr. Gitimeyi? David, Madam Miriam, Madam Rebecca, Madam Madinat. Is it clear? Any question on that? So now, this name that we have created, there are ways by which you can manipulate the name. That is what we do under name manager. The names are here. We can edit a name. We can delete a name. A key that we created before, I can delete it. Bam. Now there's no Akim in this workbook again. What about you? That I created, I can click on you and edit it. Edit is talking about you is talking about this 5 cell. I can say, okay, no, I want only from 40 to 42. And I click OK. So I've saved it. Close. Now, Akim has been deleted, so we can no longer see Akim again. It's now showing error. Let's see you now. Equals to you now. I see that the range has changed. The range, because I edited the range has now changed to whatever we have there. So you can edit, and you can also define a name here also. You can create a name here, say you. You can say, okay, my name, my underscore name. Then I will say, where is my name? My name is in this cell. In K37, that's my name. And I click OK. I can say, okay, I don't want this thing to use in all workbook. I want to use it in a particular sheet. I can select a sheet where I want to use the name. It means that I cannot just use it from anywhere. Just like this, when we created this from there, I can say I want to use it only on the sheet 1 and click OK. So if I now come here and I say equals to my name, can you see now? There's no my name here. Let me go to sheet 1. Equals to my name. My name is here because we have used the name, we create name, and we define where to use the name. So it will point to the cell in that sheet, even though the name is in that sheet, but where I want to use it is here. Whatever we have here now will point to the sheet where we have the named range. Is it clearer now, Mr. Igitimeyin? David, Madam Miriam, Madam Becky, any question on that? Oh, named range. Okay, let me quickly let's now do simple mathematical functions now for people who are likely to have not used Excel formula before. So I'm back to sheet 1. In Excel, when you are doing formula in Excel, we start our formula with equals to. And let's say we have some numbers there. A minute, please. Now, I have these numbers here. I want to sum this number together. Okay, equals to this plus this plus this. You can be picking them one by one, and you continue like that until you reach the end of what you want to solve. The same thing with minus 2. You can say, okay, equals to this minus this. Enter. You have it. You can also multiply by using what? Equals to select a cell by a cell. You have multiplied these two cells together. We are not multiplying the number, we are multiplying the cell. So whatever is in the cell is what Excel is going to multiply for us. If you change this number to anything, Excel will also change the figure. And you see that as the number is changing, the figure are also doing what? Changing. Now, but when you have a list that is more than the one we have here, what do? We use what is called functions in Excel. Excel has some inbuilt functions within itself. We call them functions. We have some of them here: financial function, logical, test, date, and all those ones. And we have some auto sum that are very common: sum, average, mean, max, and the rest. So what do we do with that? Type equals to sum. We know what sum means. Sum means summation. We open the bracket, then you select the range. You can use what do you call it? Column, and you select the last one and close the bracket. Enter. You can do the same thing. Equals to sum or average. We want to find a mean of average or something. Average. Select the number. You can drag it also if you like. You can drag it. You can use shift to select the range. Find the average. That is mean. That is called mean in statistics. Mean. We have summation. We have average. We can also have minimum. Minimum function. By selecting mean, open the bracket, select your range, and close the bracket. you have the minimum number here. In this case, we have 144 to be the minimum number. We have equals to max. Open the bracket and do this. Close the bracket. Enter. We can also count. Equals to count. Open the bracket. Count all the numbers here and close the bracket. Everything is just 12. We also have count A. Count A will count all cells. Count will count, count will count just the numbers, but count A will count both number and text. I'm going to change something here and delete something here now. We have A here. Now, this is 10. Count is giving us 10. Count is giving us 11 because it's counting all the cells that has something inside. If I put error here, hash N A, this is 9 because there's no number here. There's no number here. But this is 11 because these 11 cells are not empty. So these are the basic functions that we work with: sum, average, minimum, maximum, and count function. Like I said, I want to know how many people are in that class. You are going to count them. What is our total sales? You count it. Which one is our highest sales? You use max function. What is the least cost? We use minimum function. So all those functions, we use them one after the other to achieve our analysis. We are going to focus on them, and we are going to use them more as we progress in the journey of data analysis. Thank you for your time today. And like I said, the registration still continue. If you want to register, we have free class today and tomorrow. So if you have not registered for the class is 10 weeks, and you want to master the use of Excel, you can still register between now and next week, Saturday. So if you have any question now, ask a question before we call it a day, and we postpone the class till tomorrow. Question or comment? Any question? If there's no question, type no in chat box. So once the recording is ready, I'm going to share the recordings with us in the group. Adeyemo Rusola, any question? Amos, Kafi, Kabiru. The training cost is 80,000 naira for the 10 weeks. And like I said, these are the courses we are going to cover during the period. We are going to learn Excel, and I've shared what courses we are going to cover earlier, and you can still have this. I can share this with you if you want to have more, if you want to have the details of what I'm going to cover: Excel, Power BI, SQL, Python, and Tableau. So you can reach out to me and we'll discuss more on the payment mode and any other question that you have that you want to ask concerning the training. Okay, no question from Madam Medina. Who else again? Any other question again? No question, Mr. Sola? Okay, I want to thank everyone for the time. And sorry for the way the network has been throwing all of us up in and out today. I hope they get it right before next week.